People in your everyday life think because you're doing something and they know about it but aren't acknowledging it, that them flirting around the fact that they're aware that you're working on something, that you're not going to be successful, or you're not going to get to where you want to go, or you're going to feel some type of way behind them not acknowledging or supporting you. If somebody chooses to support you, that's cool. That's great. That's a wonderful thing. It's cool to have other people show you love and things like that. Everybody wants to, everybody wants to be shown love. All right, it's a great feeling when you're doing something and people will be like, "Yo, I see what you're doing. That's what's up. Great job." This, that, and the other. But when they don't, it necessarily won't make or break you. You have to make yourself someone that is not affected by cheering, and that's not affected by booing. If people will cheer for you, that's great. If people will boo you, that's also great. Um, you have to look at both of them the same, and you have to be unmoved by either one. Because if you're moved by people's cheering, then that means you're going to be moved by their booing. And it's not necessarily that you don't appreciate support. Of course, everybody appreciates people who appreciate them. But if you are choosing to allow others' appreciation of you and for you make you, then them if they choose to change their mind, if they choose to not support you one day, or if they start booing you, then you're setting yourself up for them to be able to break you. And it's not that you don't care about support, it's just that you have to, everybody that becomes successful has to, they have to use their mind in such a way to where they're just unaffected by if people are cheering for him or if they're not. It's just like Michael Jordan. If he's playing at his home team, of course it feels good, but when you're playing away and people are booing you and they're in your face, boo, boo, you suck, boo, you stink, boo, missed the shot, you have to pay attention either way. So just because he's at home, the people cheering for him, he has to feel the same way. He has to ignore it. He has to not pay attention to it. He has to stay focused and make the shot. And that's the only way, that when you're away or you're playing at a different home team, or when you go to shoot and they're booing you, you can stay concentrated, you can stay focused. So whether people are supporting you or whether they're not, you're able to stay focused and you're able to appreciate yourself regardless. So whether if people appreciate you or support you or not, you have to appreciate and support yourself regardless. You have to be there for yourself regardless of how others feel, regardless of what they're saying, regardless of what their opinion is. Your opinion has to supersede all that. Your opinion has to reign supreme over all of that. All right. And once again, it's good to have people cheer you on and things like that, but you can't be too moved by that, because if you're too moved by that and somebody comes along and they're not cheering you on, then you're also going to be moved by that, and it's going to have negative effects on you. But of course, it feels good when you get your little recognition or your little acknowledgement. You just can't allow it to make or break you, because when you don't get it, or if somebody has something negative to say, it'll throw you off. But another thing is, people will act like that. People will just act like them not acknowledging what you're doing is going to have a major effect on you. But they'll flirt around the fact that they know you're doing something. If you know that somebody's doing something and you don't acknowledge it, that's one thing. It's like people will just keep it to themselves. It's like, okay, that's somebody that does something. I've seen them do this, or I know this person does this, or this person dances, they sing, or this person's going to the NBA, or he's going to the NFL, or she's about to become a doctor, or she plays tennis, or whatever. Oh, he's a soccer athlete, or he paints, or whatever. You know, they. But the thing is, it's like they will. talk about it in a way to where they'll let you know about it. Like they'll talk about somebody else who does it. And it's like, why are you talking about somebody in the same field if you know that this is something that I do? And that's it's cringy. And it's immature when people do that, but it lets you know that you're doing something, and it also lets you know that people know what you're doing. And it's just their way of kind of like letting you know that they see you without letting you know, kind of thing. So I mean, it's not necessarily hate, it's just cringe. All right, it's totally cringy. It's not necessarily that people are hating on you. They might be hating on you, but there probably will be some, not probably, but there will be some other signs that go along with that. They'll probably start to say that this person is better than you, or well, not better than you, but they'll just probably start to talk about how great or how good another person is to try to get a reaction out of you. All right, and it's different when somebody is doing that, because when somebody is doing that, that's the ultimate cringe, because that ain't nothing but a hater right there. So if somebody is talking about another person in your field and they're giving this person all this admiration and praise, it's not that you feel some type of way towards them or the other person, or them not giving you that same adoration or praise. It's just cringy because it's like they secretly are trying to put out there that they know you do something or that they know you're into something. They just don't want to acknowledge you for it or give you the praise for it. And that's cool. All right. But they see you. All right. They see what you're doing. They're aware that you're doing something great. And that's just their way of letting you know, hey, I see you. But they think you're going to trip over them not giving you the recognition. And it's like, and that's why you have to feel great about yourself and what you're doing, because if not, you could stand a chance of not having enough self-esteem and thinking that you need to get it from other people, or you could stand a chance of not having enough confidence and thinking that, oh, if other people will acknowledge what I'm doing, then I can be confident. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to be confident already. But if you're doing something 9 times out of 10, you're already confident. So you won't even have to worry about that. But just to let you know, your confidence, like confidence doesn't come from, and I know you already know this, but confidence doesn't come from other people. It comes from yourself. But the thing is, like people who do what I'm describing in the video, they think that your confidence comes from people who are interested in what you're doing. And they think that their opinion matters. Like they think that their opinion matters because they're probably somebody who bases their confidence off of other people's opinions. So they're most likely just projecting. So when people are doing this, they're projecting most likely, and just don't take it personal. So when you're out and you're about and you're doing things and people are doing things in earshot, gaslighting you, like you say you're out to eat or something, and somebody's like, "Oh wow, yeah, I just saw so and so. They're so great at what they're doing, and everybody knows they're doing it." And you're just trying to eat and enjoy your meal, but this person is in earshot of you saying all these things and talking about somebody that does the exact same thing as you. Oh, just did you hear so and so song? It just everybody's listening to it. It's one of the best newest songs that's out. And you know that you're a great artist yourself. And it's like, okay, somebody is a great artist, that's cool, somebody is doing their thing, that's great, but there's no competition. There's no competition. There's no reason to compete. It's not a race. You're not trying to beat the other person for having the best song or anything. So it really doesn't matter. But the thing is, it matters to them. It matters to them because they ain't doing nothing, most likely. The people who always have something to say about what other people are doing, most likely 9 times out of 10, they ain't doing nothing. That's why they're talking about somebody else in the first place. And they feel insecure around you because that you are doing something, and they want to project that insecurity onto you by talking about someone else, building them up, um, uh, putting that person on a pedestal, making that person seem great. But the thing is, making that person seem great, making that person seem so good or so talented or amazing. But the thing is, whatever, this is what I figured out a long time ago, and I learned this from girls. All right, sorry, ladies. Not to put y'all on the hot seat, but I learned this from the ladies, man. whenever somebody is around you and they're talking about how great somebody is or how good they're what they're doing, and you guys are in the same field, right? Like I'm describing, you guys are in the same field, or even it doesn't necessarily have to be the same field. If somebody is doing a uh, life comparison type of thing, where it's like people will be in earshot of you and they're trying to compare, oh, so and so is just doing this and they're doing that, and like it's like they're near you and you're doing something great with your life, but they want you to know about everything that somebody else is doing with their life. And it's like, yo, that's your son. Like, can't you just be proud of your son without saying it all loud right here where I'm at? But the thing is, people are more aware of you than you know, so they have to let you know that they're attached to something great as well, because 9 times out of 10, they're not doing nothing. 9 times out of 10, they're not being great themselves. They're not using their potential. So they have to talk about something that they're attached to. They have to talk about someone that they're attached to that is being great, also using their potential, that's going out and doing phenomenal things, right? And they want you to know that you're not hot stuff. You're not the hottest thing smoking, even though you are. But they want you to think that you're not as great as you are, or you're not the greatest, or you ain't Muhammad Ali or Joe Frazier or Brad Pitt or what's his name, Larry Bird, or Hot Sauce with the handle. You know, they don't want you to think you're what's that, Tiger Woods. They don't want you to think you're Manny Pacquiao. They don't want you to think you're what's that dude's name? Well, he put on some lady clothes, so I ain't gonna mention him. But before he put on them lady clothes, we all know that that boxer. All right, I ain't gonna put nothing out there on him because I don't want to disrespect nobody. But yeah, he, you know, and he was boxing, and then a picture surfaced to him on the internet, and we ain't gonna take it no further than that. But anyway, you are as great as you think you are, and they think that you need them to complement your greatness for you to be great. That's how you know you're actually starting to make waves, and you're actually starting to become monumental when you have other people who feel some type of way about you being great. And it's not hate necessarily, but you know, sometimes when it gets a little out of hand, and it's like, okay, I get it. You know, it's like, okay, you know someone great, you know someone good, you know someone that's doing something, you know someone that is living a positive lifestyle. Okay, I understand. And it's like they won't even be talking to you. It's like they have to say it near you so you hear, so that you're aware, because people see your life and they want to compare. All right, they want you to be aware that you don't have the only great life in the building. There's other people out there living great and doing amazing things too, sir or madam. And it's like, okay, I get it, you know, like, okay, cool. But yo, the one thing that I learned, this how I learned this early on, was from girls, because girls will be around a guy and they'll be talking about another dude and how handsome he is to them, or how cute they think he is, or how whatever they think he is. Oh, so and so, is he looks so good and he's just so fly and all this, that, and the other. And they're trying to get attention from you, man. And it's good ways, that it's healthy ways that people go about getting attention. Not everybody's always a hater that's trying to get your attention. Not everybody is always an energy vampire that's trying to get your attention. This is a form of vampirism, don't get it twisted. But it is not that is negative all the time, because it could be positive for you, but still watch out, because just because it could be positive for you, like, oh, human interaction, oh, girls, opposite sex, ladies, it still could potentially be an energy vampire, because somebody who's real would most likely walk up to you, and you know, if the person is really feeling you, they'll probably walk up to you and say a little joke, or you know, try to clown you, or like, what's your name? Like, oh, Drew. Okay, like Druuill. You know, like people will like little stuff like that, and not necessarily clown you, but just, you know, try and make a little. They'll break the ice. Try and make a little conversation. Anybody that can't walk up to you and, you know, necessarily talk to you doesn't mean that that person is an energy vampire or whatever. But usually, if somebody can be out loud and they could, you know, try to get your attention and be loud, but not actually like walk up to you and say something like, uh, That might be a red flag. Okay, so just just watch out, stay on your p's and q's. But the fact that you're doing something great, people are going to have something to say about it. They are going to have a way that they feel about it. They are going to have an opinion. All right, they're going to have an opinion. Okay, but their opinion does not matter. Okay, everybody's got one. All right, so just just it is what it is. It comes with the territory. It is a telltale sign that you're doing something and people are beginning to notice. People are starting to become aware. People are starting to take notice that you're making a change in your life. You're moving forward in life. You're progressing in life. And when you are focused on yourself, they know that you're focused on your life and thinking about how things are going to go, and you're focused on your little thing or whatever. And it's like they want to be associated with being great as well. They want to be attached to something great as well. They don't want you to feel as good as you do because you have something going on. They don't want you to think that you're the only one. And the thing is, that's them. It's all projection. It's them thinking that you think you're this and you're that just because you're doing something with your life. Just because you choose to do something with your life, and just because you naturally feel good about it, doesn't mean you're that kind of person. When you do something, or when you're about something, or when you start to like make changes and things like that, you're going to feel good naturally. It's like you weren't doing nothing and now you are. Before you started doing something, you were no different than people who chose not to do anything, because at one point you were choosing not to do nothing either. So it's like, that's why people who stay humble, they're always the greatest. That's why people who stay level headed, they're able to truly be great, because it's like they're not allowing themselves to change just because they want to go be something, or they want to go do something with their life. They still see themselves as a divine person. All right. They still see themselves as no different than anybody else. So they don't let it get to their head. So if you're working towards success, you're working towards becoming successful, and you're not letting it get to your head, you truly are the representation of greatness. All right, people will look up to you. People most likely do look up to you, and people are looking at you as how you feel about yourself. Number one, because how you see yourself is how other people are going to see you as well. But there are some people, they just take that to the head. All right, narcissist. There are people who just they take that to the head, because it's like they look at it from a power point of view, instead of like a just a humble point of view. And I understand people are looking for power and things like that. People want to be perceived as a powerful person, because if you're not perceived as a powerful person, people may try to come at you a certain way. But it's ways to handle that, and it's ways to get around that. So it's like, I get it, I understand. But me personally, I found a happy medium. I like how I do things, and I like the person that I'm becoming. Like Drake said, he said, I like the person that I'm becoming. But yeah, man, you can't help but feel yourself. Everybody feels themselves. All right, everybody feels good about themselves. There's nothing wrong with that. All right, if that's not your only go-to, if you're not looking at yourself better than other people, like, I don't understand how you could like really feel good about yourself, but like feel that you're like better than other people. To me, that really don't make sense. Like, that's a little bit like that's just a little bit too arrogant for me. I understand everybody's a little arrogant, but that's like going overboard. That's taking it to your head. Me personally, that's cringy to me. It's like, I get it, I understand, but it's like, I don't take it that far. That's just me personally. But when you are working on yourself, and you have goals and you have dreams, there are going to be people who see you as how you see yourself. Or you may still be where you're at. You may not be too far. You may not be as far ahead as a person could be, but there are going to be people who see you as already where you see yourself at. All right. You know you're living in the end. You see yourself in a brand new Benz. All right. You just everybody who wants to work towards something, they have an idea and a vision of themselves. And once you start to continue to work on yourself and you hold that vision and you hold that idea of yourself, it's going to start to like exude off of you, and your presence, your aura, your energy, everything is going to start to go up. Everything is going to change, and people may feel that you're acting different, but you are acting different. It's just because you don't see yourself as the way that you used to anymore, because at one point you weren't doing nothing and you weren't doing nothing and you weren't going to be anything and you weren't going to have anything, and now you're just making some changes so that way you could change your life. And like I said, what comes with that is you're going to feel good about yourself. There's some pride that comes with that. You're going to be proud of who you are. All right, if you're doing something that's positive, you ain't stabbing nobody in the back, you're not destroying your community, you ain't tearing nobody down, you're not being a crab in a bucket. All right. And but the thing is that there are people who are like that, and they're gonna project onto you how they feel about themselves. Like, oh, he think he better than us. Like, I remember I was getting some clothes a couple months ago, and this was like a couple months ago. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And it's like people were like, oh, he thinks he's better than us. And then they like the lady that said that, she turned and looked at me and gave me like this little foul look or something. I'm like, uh okay. I'm like, whatever. But it is what it is. There are going to be people who give you those type of vibes, like you think you're better or whatever. But don't let that get to you either. That's just them and how they feel about other people, because most likely 9 times out of 10 they may not be doing anything. All right, so it just comes with the territory when you're working on yourself and you want better. When you want better and you feel better, and like people kind of see that you starting to do a little better, they will they could potentially feel some kind of way. But it is what it is. It's like somebody going to school to become a doctor, and it's like you knew this person was studying the whole entire time to become a doctor, and they finally become a doctor, and now you feel some type of way once you see them with the little MD on their chest, or you see them get off work and they got their little lab coat on, or they've been a doctor for a couple months now and now they got a new car or something like that. Oh, like, of course, what do you think they were supposed to stay down? Did you think they was just supposed to stay where they were at? Like, nah, their life changed. They elevated. This person's a doctor now. They got a new home. They got a new car. They got a car that a doctor should have. They have a home that a doctor should have. It's like, what do you think this is? But these are the people who are staying stuck. Who are choosing to stay stuck. These are the people who didn't choose to make life choices like the people who did, that wanted more. All right, the person who wanted to be a doctor, they did their research, they checked the salary cap, they said, yo, you know what? Doctors make this much. I want to have this home. I want to be a doctor. Boom. This is for me. I'm deciding to be that. I'm choosing to be that. I want to be that. And it's like they think you need their support. You don't need their support to go be a doctor, a basketball player, a teacher, uh, whatever you want to be. All right, you don't, a lifeguard, a gymnast, a baker, hairstylist, a barber, a gym trainer, like an artist, a drawer, a painter, a writer. You don't need anybody's support to go do that. You just go do it. But the people who don't do anything, they start, they twist their little face up and be like, oh, you think you better than us, huh? You think you just gonna leave us behind, huh? You think you gonna do this? You think you? Nobody's like, people are leaving themselves behind. People are mad at you because they done left themselves behind. How can you leave somebody behind? Half these people are just interested in you and you don't even know them like that. How you gonna leave somebody behind? And everybody's got the choice to go be something or do something. But it's just a lack mindset. It's a lack mindset that people have. They're not thinking they're not thinking in abundance. They're not thinking that they can change their life. And it's certain things that they're just not aware of. The people who are aware that they could change their life and be more and do more, they have that awareness. They know that it's like, yo, I can be something. I could change this. I can actually become what I want. I don't have to stay stuck at this 9 to 5. I don't have to stay stuck being a whatever I was. I could actually, doesn't matter how old I am. I could be 50. I could be 60. I could be 75. I could be 20. I could be 25. I could be 45. I could be 35. Whatever it is. Whatever five. Okay, high five. You're choosing to be something. If you're watching this video, most likely you are already something. You have already went through it and became something, or you're working your way towards something right now. And if not, I'm speaking it on your life. You only got one life to live. Why not become something and use your time and benefit yourself so you can benefit the people around you, benefit your community, benefit your environment, benefit yourself, benefit your family, and that way you know you could become something and you can live the life that you always wanted to. There's always some type of suffering you have to go through. It's like it's always some part that you don't want to do to get to some place where you want to get. Everybody has to go through something. Whether you're going to school, people don't really want to go to college like that. They just want their degree. They want the money. They want the job. They want the home. They want the car. But if they want to go through that, they have to go through those 4 years and then pre whatever school and then the bachelor school and then whatever school. All right, they have to do all that to continue on with their education to get the degree so they could go get their job. Whether you and I learned that as well because it's like it's certain things that I didn't do and I knew that I was going to have to do something. I knew I was going to have to do something. Both my parents are educators. I knew I was going to have to do something. And it's like, yo, if that's not the route I want to take, I'm not just going to be a bum. But it's like you can't put a time limit on yourself or rush yourself either because you're not where you should be or where people feel you should be or where society says you should be at a particular time. Everybody finds out what they want to do or what they are when they're supposed to. All right, God works everything out in divine time and divine order. God works in mysterious ways. Don't put pressure on yourself, but just know that it's your life and you should be using it to do something and be something. Don't just be not being anything. I know everybody who watches my videos, I see y'all in the comments. I know y'all are already something or are working towards something. And that's why I wanted to make a channel like this because I knew it would attract positive people who are already motivated. And that motivated me even more to see positive people. Like a lot of people who already have things that motivates me. When I see successful people, that motivates me. Makes me want to do better, makes me want to be better. Like it doesn't make me look at people and think that this person thinks they're better or this person thinks they're that or this person needs my support. Like, nah, man. I'm like, yo, that's enough support for me right there just to see somebody that's ahead in life or that already has something attached to their name or like it's success is to me it's like I really appreciate it and I really appreciate everybody who's working on something, being something because I'm the type of person and I know y'all are too. Y'all can find inspiration anywhere. Y'all can find motivation anywhere. And it's just the type of mindset that you have. But there are people who aren't who there are people who are unaware of this mindset. Doesn't make them bad people, doesn't make them, like terrible people, but there's just people out there who are unaware of this mindset. And if they don't know, it's like how would they know kind of thing. It's like people they just make like false judgments and prejudgments and they look at people a certain way and they don't understand that like yo you're no different than them. All you had to do was think something. You chose like yo I gotta pick up the ball. I gotta do something. It's something that I have to do. And it's like everybody whoever has a success story, that's what they always said. They're like, yo, I knew I had to do something. Like that's what I picked up. I don't know if you guys picked that up too, but I always would see that. I always would notice people. They're like, "Yo, I know I had to do something. I was living like this, or I was in this environment, or I was in this situation, or I just got home, or whatever it was. I had to do something." And it's like that's all it is. People have a desire to want to be something, and there are some people that don't have that, and they try to take that out on you thinking that you need their support. It's like, yo, I don't need your support. If you support, cool. If not, that's cool too. You don't have to be a part of what I'm doing. But for them to acknowledge what somebody else is doing, even though it's the same thing as you, don't even waste no time with people like that. Just like, okay, all right. I know I'm up to something. I know I'm into that. I know I do that too. That's just your way of letting me know. Okay, I get it. So it's nothing to take personal. It's nothing to be offended by. like a couple years ago, that probably would have tripped me up and I probably would have felt some type of way about it. I'm not even gonna lie. So that's why I'm making this video for people out there like me that might have gotten tripped up or offended by this. And it's like, yo, I do that too. Why do you not talk? How you going? Like, it's no point in getting into it with somebody like that. It's like when they talk about something that they know you do, even though they're talking about somebody else, they're pretty much talking about you. Especially if they're going into detail how great the person is. They're talking about you without talking about you. That's how I view it. Even if they aren't, that's how I'm viewing it because it's a positive way for me to look at it. So they're unaware that you know they're gaslighting. They try to act like you don't know they know, but you know they know. You know they know. And they might even know you know. They just some people they just some people live in a fantasy world, y'all. Like, you'd be surprised. Some people live in a fantasy world. It's like you'll have people who will know that you do something and they will just act like you ain't even got nothing to do with it because it makes them feel better because like, it brings out people's insecurities and it makes people feel some type of way when somebody is doing something and they're in the same vicinity as them. They're in the same they're in this person's neighborhood, or you have to see them every day, or you live around them, or you go to school with them, or you work with them, or you all live in the same neighborhood, or y'all go to church together, or his grandma know y'all aunt, or whatever it may be. All right, I don't know how you got it hooked up. Okay, somebody knows somebody. Somebody knows somebody. So I'm not sure who this message is for, but I know it's for somebody that is working towards something, that wants to be something, that is making positive changes in their life. And they're wondering why people keep bringing up other people, talking about other people. And it's like, yo, I do that same thing too. Or it's like they're wondering why whenever they're going somewhere, they're doing something, somebody's always trying to compete with life or compare lives or compete in the arena of life. And it's like, yo, we're not battling or for anything. We're not in competition for anything. We're not racing against each other. You're not my competitor. We're not in the same, we're not, like, half the times when these things happen, what's really cringy about it is you're not even in the same lane as the person. It's like, yo, you're in your lane, I'm in my lane. But when you have people like that, they're doing the whole life competition thing. And that's how you know the person might be slightly narcissistic. And everybody got a little bit of narcissism in them. Everybody's got some of these characteristics, but it's different when you have the characteristics versus having the full-blown traits. All right, just being a full-blown narc. All right, so that's when it gets even more serious, when people will take out how they feel on you because they see you doing great things and they see you trying to make a change with your life. These are the people who actually try to get in your way and try to stop you, but even that can't stop you. Even that's not an issue. When you deal with people like that, all you have to do is just keep working on yourself and don't pay them any mind because they just mad that you're doing something and they're not. So, people in your everyday life think you need their support. They think you need them to acknowledge what you're doing. Oh, what you're doing is so great. I saw it and it's amazing and you're the best. Like, no one needs that. If that's how somebody truly feels, then cool. That's what's up. That's authentic. But the thing is, in their mind, they feel that if they don't give you any acknowledgement, or if they hold back and they know you or they see you or you're in front of their face, they feel that that's giving them some power. They feel that that's holding you back some kind of way because they feel a certain way about what you're doing already. And if they know about what you're doing, most likely they probably like it. They just don't want you to know they like it. Because somebody that doesn't like something is not really going to care about it at all. All right, it's like a song that imagine a song that you don't like. You probably don't even know the words to it. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't even be worried about it. You just be like, oh, you can skip that. I don't even care about that song. You wouldn't care to know the title. You wouldn't care to know nothing about the artist. You wouldn't care to know who made it, where it was recorded, none of that. But think about your favorite song. You want to know where it was made. You especially if it's an older song, you appreciate the nostalgia. What year was that made in? Where did they make it at? Who made it? Who recorded it? Who made the beat? Who choreographed the dance moves? Where was it shot at? what kind of shirt is he wearing in that video? I'm about to go get me a shirt like that now. Ain't nobody wearing a shirt like that. So when people actually care about it and they're trying to hide it, it usually comes out like that in the form of gaslighting. So I'd like to thank you for watching this video. Smash the like button, smash the share button, okay? And don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. We out. Peace, love, and light.